Hi guys, welcome to another Elementor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. If I roll down this page, we've got a full width live Google Map at the bottom here. Now, as I say, it's live. You can hit your control button and zoom in, zoom out, do what you want with it. Really easy to do. I've got mine inverted here, so the colors are different. I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video. So let's get started. Really easy to do. I want to go back to the top of the page. I've got mine open here. Let's go down. I'm going to get rid of this section and we'll start from scratch. So we'll start at the top and we'll move it when we're done. I'm going to add a new section. Just over the pink tab here, hit the little plus sign to add a new section. I'm going to go over to my matrix. Right here, we're going to find Google Map. Just left click, drag it, drop it where you want it. There it is. By default, it's put in the London Eye. You put in whatever address you want here. Let's put in the Empire State Building. Great, that's found that for us. You can use your zoom slider to zoom in or zoom out to how much or how little you actually want to see of your map. And if you want to make it deeper than it is there, you can use the height slider here. When you're happy with the height of it, if we go over to style, you've got several filters that you can use on it. Blur, obviously, is going to blur it out a little bit. Nice idea would be to have a little bit of a blur on it, perhaps, when it comes in like that. Then on hover, hit the little filters there. You could bring it back down to 0, so when you hover over it, it's nice and sharp. And if you were to do something like that, there's a transition duration. You can slow it down with here. And it's 1.3 seconds there. So it's going to slowly fade in. It's being visible there. Just a little idea. I'm going to take that off. I go back to my regular state, to my filters here. I'm going to take that blur away. Don't think brightness is going to do a whole lot to it. Just make it sort of washed out looking. Or dull if you take it down there. I'll put it back to 100. Contrast will make the darks darker and the brights brighter if you take it up one way. And the other way, it just washes it all out. Again, I'm happy with where that was. Saturation will make the colors more colorful to the right. And again, it'll kind of wash it out, bleed it out to the left. Until you've got a black and white version all the way down to the left. And that is actually quite a nice style there. But again, I'm going to leave that like where it was. You can change the hue if you want to, which will change all the colors. If you've got a certain style that's going to fit your website better, just change it up like this. And that's absolutely fine, because again, you can change the hue and then create a hover effect where it goes back to normal, just for a bit of interest. But what I actually wanted to do was to change mine to almost a night version. So all the colors are actually inverted, which is what most maps do. But we'll do that in a little while. So I'm going to close that one up. Now I want to make this full width. I mean, it's great having small Google Maps. You can have a sort of one in a small row. If I was to add another row to this, add a new column, I should say, quite often you'd see a live Google Map and perhaps a contact form or something over here. That's a great way of doing it. But my one today, let's just delete this column. I want to make full width. To do that couldn't be easier. Go up to your little pink tab for your section up here. On the layout, you'll find contents width here. Just change it from boxed to full width. And you've got a full width live Google Map. I probably wouldn't have it on the top of my page here. It's usually at the bottom of my page under a contact form or something. But that's entirely up to you. And again, you can just start it with all those filters there. But like I say, I want to make mine the opposite way around, so it looks like a nighttime map. To do that, let's go over to our advanced. Now I'm using Elementor Pro here, so I'm going to use the custom CSS tab. If you're using Elementor, the free version, you can do this, but you'll have to do it over in your additional CSS tab in the customizer. For anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, if we go down to the dashboard here, Onto the dashboard, go down to Appearance and Customize. That'll take you to this page. We're using the free Hello theme for all these videos in this series, but most WordPress themes will have an additional CSS panel somewhere. So I'm going to go into here, and you can write your code in here if you don't have the Pro version. It'll do exactly the same thing. I do, so I'm going to go back to my Page tab here. Down in the Custom CSS, I'm going to put my cursor in there. I'm going to create a class name. All class names have a dot or a period in front of it. And I'll put this little bit of code down below for anybody that wants to copy and paste. I'm going to invent a class name of gmap for Google Map, I suppose. You can make yours what you want, but it doesn't want to be unique. I'm going to open and close some curly brackets. I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to say filter, filter, colon, invert, invert. I'm going to open some round brackets with no gap at the end there. Those round brackets are right on the end of the T there. And I want to flip it by 180%, which will make those colors opposite to what they are now. So I'm going to type in 180 and a percent sign. Now you may have noticed nothing's happened, or you may not have noticed because nothing has happened. So I'm going to copy that class name because we haven't assigned it to this module yet, gmap, and it's exactly the same if you're writing this in your additional CSS panel. Control C to copy. I'm going to go up to where it says advanced here, a little chevron because we're in the right module already. Where it says CSS classes there, I'm going to paste in that class name without the dot. Make sure you don't put the dot in there. And it's inverted that map, and it kind of looks like a nighttime version. Now, if you wanted it to flip it from this nighttime or dark version to a light version or a regular version, we can do that very easy as well. We can just copy this code. I'll select all of it. Control C to copy. I'll drop down a couple lines. And like I said, I'll put this down below for anybody who wants to copy and paste. Right after the P of our class name, gmap there, I'm going to put a colon, no gap there. And again, no gap and the word hover. I'm going to put a 0 in there this time. So when they hover over it, it's going to go back to normal. And when I'm doing that, it's happening almost instantaneously. So I want to slow that down for a bit of grace so it fades from one to the other. So in the regular state up here, not the hover state, I'm going to put a semicolon on the end of there. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to say transition. It's prompted us down here. Transition duration. I'm just going to click on the prompt. And just after the colon there, I'm going to make it 1 second. You can do 0.1, 0.2, 1.2, 3 seconds, whatever works for you. I'm just going to say 1s for 1 second. Put a little semicolon on the end. Now when I hover over it, it's going to take a second. I mean, you can really slow it down for a bit of grace if you want to. You can make it 3 seconds if you want to, or whatever works for you. And that slows it down. I'm going to put it back to 1 because there is a bit in the middle there where it's just plain grey, where it's flipping around. I don't really like that. So I'm going to flip mine back to 1 second. But of course, this is all entirely up to you. Great. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, I'd like my map to be down on the bottom of the site here. So if we look down at the bottom here, we've got a little navigate icon here. It's showing us our section here with the Google Map. I'm just going to close it up. I'm going to left click it, drag it all the way to the bottom. Just let go of my left mouse there. Much easier than trying to drag it with a tab and go through everything here. Now, this you'll find is on the bottom of the site here. There it is. Fantastic. Well, let's close that and make sure this is all going to work on the front end. So I'm going to save draft or publish if you're ready. I'm going to hit the little chevron to save draft. Now let's take a look back on our page here. We roll down to the bottom. And here's our live Google Map. And that is a wonderful thing to have on your site. It's interactive. So that's great user experience for your visitors there. You can scroll in, you can scroll out, obviously put your business address in there. When they take their mouse back off of it, it's going to go to the dark version again. Now there's a little bit of a gap around the side there. You can always put a little color in your section. I'll show you quickly how to do that. going to go into the section itself. I'm actually going to put a white in there. So over in Style, here's the background. I'm going to put a white color in there by clicking on where it says color there. I'm going to put it white in there. And you may notice that's come in black. I'm pretty sure you figured out why that is. It's because we've got that filter on and it's an opposite of what we should have. So let's save that again. We'll take a look now. And if we roll back down to our map, you'll notice now it's got a little black border around there. That's absolutely awesome. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching.